My beloved child, I am asking you to pause for a moment. Set aside whatever has been competing for your attention and stay here with me. What I am about to speak over your life carries weight, but it can only take root if you remain with me through every word. Right now, a choice stands before you. You can stay and receive what I have prepared, or you can turn away and miss what I am placing before you in this moment. Listen carefully, my child. Even now, heaven is attentive to what you will do next. My messengers watch as this moment unfolds, waiting to see whether you will remain present or drift back into distraction. The response you give matters more than you realize. You did not arrive here by accident, because there is no coincidence in my kingdom. I have been drawing you toward these words for far longer than you know, and today you are finally quiet enough to hear me clearly. Something has stood in the way of the fullness I intended for your life. Something has delayed what I planned for you long before your first breath. Today, that grip is beginning to loosen. Walk with me through this, one step at a time. Do not allow your thoughts to wander, and do not let the noise around you pull you away from this sacred moment, because this is one of the most significant moments of your year. My child, you have carried burdens that few people ever saw. I have watched every tear that fell when no one else was there to notice. Yes, even the tears you tried to hide. I heard every prayer you whispered into the darkness, including the ones you thought disappeared into silence. I saw you keep moving when every part of you wanted to give up. I watched you fight through exhaustion, disappointment, and uncertainty. There were moments when you believed I was distant, moments when you wondered whether I had forgotten you somewhere along the journey. But hear me now, my precious one. I never left you. Not once. Not for a single breath. Even in the silence, I was working for your good. There is something I need you to understand about your life. From the moment you were formed, I placed my mark upon you. I sealed you as my own, and no force in this world has the power to break what I have established. That seal remained over you through every storm, every valley, and every season that tried to overwhelm you. It held you steady when everything around you seemed determined to pull you down. That seal still rests upon you today. But now, my beloved, the time has come for what I have kept in reserve to begin unfolding. There are 3 places where heaviness has settled over your life. These are not small burdens. They have lingered for far too long, pressing against different parts of your journey. Together, one by one, we are going to lift them. Stay present with me. Do not rush ahead. What I am doing requires your whole heart, not a passing glance. The first burden rests over your provision. It is the reason abundance has often seemed just beyond your reach. It is why you have poured out effort after effort, and still felt as though progress slipped through your hands at the last moment. This weight has opposed my intentions for you and pressed heavily against your supply for far too long. But listen closely, even now, it is beginning to lift. Can you sense that something is shifting? The atmosphere around your life is changing. I want you to understand something about this season. This burden was never meant to remain forever. It tested your heart. It revealed whether you would continue believing when there was nothing visible to hold on to, whether you would continue trusting me when your hands felt empty and your answers seemed delayed. And you endured, my child. You kept believing when belief required faith beyond what your circumstances could explain. You continued trusting when the evidence around you seemed absent. What you called waiting, I was using as preparation. Because I take perseverance, the weight resting over your provision is ready to be lifted. The burdens you carried in secret were never meant to become your identity. The harsh words spoken over you, the moments that left you feeling forgotten, overlooked, or unworthy, none of those things speak the truth about who you are. The truth is that you are deeply treasured by me. I have held you with intention from the beginning. Now the time has come to loosen your grip on disappointment and release the sorrow attached to what you believe you have lost. Those things do not determine where I am leading you. In the days ahead, you will begin to see evidence of my work. Help will arrive in ways you did not expect. Opportunities that once seemed unreachable will appear before you. The answer may come more quietly than you imagined, like morning light slowly filling a room, yet you will recognize my hand in it. Stay steady in faith when it comes. Do not allow doubt to convince you that nothing has changed. Keep believing, keep watching. Keep your heart turned toward me, because I am already moving in ways your eyes cannot yet see. The enemy of your peace will try to persuade you that this day is no different from any other. Do not give your attention to that voice. I am not standing at a distance observing your life. I am near. I am active. I am arranging what has not yet come into view. Hold your place. Lift your head. The season of waiting is drawing to a close. If you believe this, declare it now. Speak your yes to me, my child. Now let me speak about the second place where heaviness has settled. This burden rests over your relationships. It is why you have felt lonely even while surrounded by people. It is why so few have understood the deeper places of your heart. It is why you found yourself drawn toward connections that left you diminished instead of strengthened. But I am beginning to change this. I am loosening the hold this burden has had over your life. Listen carefully, my beloved. I am preparing new connections for you. These will not be ordinary encounters. They will be relationships guided by my hand. They will include people who recognize the value I placed within you long ago. People who support what I am doing in your life instead of standing in its way. Yet there is something else you must understand. What is new cannot fully enter while there is no room for it. Some connections have quietly drained your strength for too long. Some relationships, however familiar and dear they may seem, have kept drawing you backward when I have been calling you forward. I know this is difficult. Releasing what is familiar often is. But it is necessary. This change asks something real of you. It asks you to trust that what I am preparing is greater than what you have been settling for. It asks you to stop clinging to relationships that dim the light I placed within you. It asks you to believe that what I have prepared is more aligned with my purpose for your life than what you are struggling to hold on to now. What lies ahead cannot be compared to what you are afraid to release. So lay down the sorrow attached to the past. Let go of the words that convinced you that you were unworthy. Those words were never true. What has always been true is this. You are deeply loved, and you have always been held with great care. There are places in your heart where you expected people and circumstances to fill spaces that only I was meant to occupy. Today, I am asking you to loosen your grip on those things and trust me there. Today, my child, I gently ask you to loosen your grip. Trust me to fill the places that feel empty, to heal what has been wounded, and to bring a peace deeper than anything you have known before. I have watched you carry this burden patiently, even through the nights when you felt forgotten and the moments when opportunities seemed to pass you by. But I want you to understand something important. What felt like delay was never wasted time. It was preparation. Every step of this journey, every challenge that stood before you, and every person who walked away has quietly led you to where you are now. The silence was never empty. I was working in places you could not yet see. Your past has only the power you give it, but your future is already calling you forward. And I have been setting good things in motion for you all along. Do not carry anger toward those I am asking you to release. They are not your enemies, nor are they responsible for an ending I had already determined. This is not about blame, it is about seasons. In my wisdom, I am moving them into a different chapter just as I am moving you into a new one. You may never fully understand why the timing unfolds the way it does, and I am not asking you to. I am simply asking for your trust. Trust me enough to believe that my hand is guiding you, even when the path turns in a direction you did not expect. When this change unfolds, there may be an emptiness that feels difficult to bear. That feeling is natural because your life has grown accustomed to a certain presence, a certain rhythm, a certain shape. But I will not leave you alone in that space. If you allow me, I will fill that emptiness with my own presence. I will meet you in the silence. I will stand where the absence now stands, and you will discover that I am enough in ways you never imagined possible. The very place you fear will become the place where my nearness becomes clearer, deeper, and more real than ever before. Remember this, my beloved. The ending of a relationship does not erase the goodness it once carried. The laughter was real. The kindness was real. The comfort was real. You are free to be grateful for what was given without continuing to hold on to what has reached its end. You can thank me for the blessing of that season while placing it fully into my hands. Bless what is leaving as it goes. The same hand that is guiding you is guiding them as well. Do not try to force open a door I am closing. No amount of effort will keep it open without bringing harm where I am trying to bring peace. Some doors close because I am protecting you from rooms that no longer contain the blessing they once held. Trust the finality of what I am doing, even when it hurts. Every time you resist what I am moving, the ache remains longer than it needs to. Every time you surrender it to me, you make room for peace to find you. There may be moments ahead when your thoughts return to what is past. You may wonder how things are now. You may wonder whether your absence is felt. That is natural, my child. But do not stay too long in the land of what might have been. That place is an illusion. It keeps you walking in circles while I have already cleared a path ahead of you. In time you will see the fruit of what currently feels like loss. One day you will look back and understand that I was not simply taking something away. I was creating room for something you could never have received while your hands were still holding on. There are relationships in your life that truly strengthened you and helped carry you through difficult seasons. They gave you encouragement when you needed it most. But there are also connections that, despite how familiar or comfortable they feel, cannot carry you where I am leading you. They provide comfort for a moment, but they cannot provide the strength required for the road ahead. Some of those connections may appear harmless. Some may even seem good within their season. Yet their roots do not draw from the source I have prepared for you. They offer shade, but it is a shade that blocks the light I want to shine upon your path. I know that when I speak about releasing people, your heart grows uneasy. I know this is harder than you want to admit. You think about the quiet that may follow. You think about the absence of a familiar voice and the empty space it leaves behind. You wonder why I allowed you to care so deeply, to share your thoughts, your time, and your heart with someone, if release was always part of the story. But my beloved, I am not taking anything from you as punishment. I am allowing this because the work I intended to accomplish through that connection has reached its completion. Holding on longer would only delay the new work I am preparing within you. Love is not always proven by holding tightly. Sometimes love is revealed through the willingness to release when the time has come. Even the most sincere and meaningful connections can become chains when they stand between you and the path I have prepared. Think back to the prayers you whispered when no one else was listening. You asked for growth. You asked for purpose. You asked for transformation. You asked me to shape you, guide you, and remove whatever stood in the way of becoming who I created you to be. What I am doing now is part of the answer to those prayers, even if it does not look the way you imagined. You expected pruning to feel gentle, like the careful trimming of a beautiful branch. But sometimes pruning feels like loss. Sometimes what must be cut away once bloomed beautifully, yet it can no longer produce the fruit I intend for this season of your life. I see what is not yet grown, my child. I see what is still coming, and I cut with that future in mind, not only with the past in view. I am not only releasing certain people from your path, I am also loosening the parts of your heart that lean too heavily upon them. There were places where you searched for their voice before you sought mine. There were moments when their approval carried more weight than my truth. I do not tell you this to bring shame. I tell you because I want you to understand why this separation is necessary. To walk fully in the strength I have prepared for you, your foundation must rest in me alone. It cannot be divided. It must stand securely on the ground that belongs to me. My child, I want you to hear me today. My child, everything around you is all. Bring it as an offering of trust, laid before this work without fear or hesitation. Let it be like a seed released into deep waters, surrendered into my care rather than held tightly in your own hands. In doing so, you are showing that your confidence rests in my ability to provide, and that your heart is no longer governed by fear of lack. What you release in faith is not lost. It does not disappear from your life. It moves ahead of you into what I am preparing, becoming part of a harvest you cannot yet see. Remember this, my beloved. The end of a season never removes the value it once carried. The joyful moments mattered, the kindness mattered, the laughter, the comfort, and the companionship all held genuine meaning. You are free to treasure those memories without holding on to what has already completed its purpose. Gratitude does not require possession. You can thank me for what someone brought into your life, while also placing them into the future I have prepared for them. Bless them as they go, because the same hand that guides your path is guiding theirs as well. There will be pain in this letting go. I will not ask you to pretend otherwise. I created your heart to love deeply, and I will never require you to act as though endings leave no mark. What mattered to you mattered, and it is natural to feel the ache when a season closes. But you will not walk through that ache alone. I will remain beside you during the nights when you long for what is no longer there. I will gently remind you when you reach for doors I have already closed. My grace will do more than sustain you through the loss. It will transform the wound into wisdom and use the sorrow to prepare you for what is still ahead. Do not rush to fill the space I have cleared. There is purpose even in the absence. There is purpose in the quiet. It is there, in the places that feel empty, that you will begin hearing my voice in ways you have not heard before. The silence was never empty. I was growing roots where you kept searching for fruit. As the noise of competing voices fades, my presence will become clearer to you. Let that stillness become fertile ground where trust can deepen and grow strong. Some people I am asking you to release may never fully understand your decision. They may see distance where there is obedience. They may interpret your stepping away in ways that are incomplete or mistaken. That is all right, my child. You are not responsible for making everyone understand the work I am doing within you. Your responsibility is simply to walk faithfully in what I am asking of you. Just as I am caring for your heart, I am able to care for theirs. You can trust me with both. I want you to begin seeing relationships the way I see them, not merely as attachments but as assignments within a larger story. Every person who has crossed your path has carried a purpose within a design greater than you could fully see. Some remain for many years, others remain only briefly. Some arrive loudly, while others leave a quieter imprint upon your life. Yet every thread has its place in the pattern I am weaving. None exist outside of my care. And when I remove a thread, it is never because I am destroying what I have made. It is because I am protecting the beauty of what is still taking shape. What feels like removal is often preparation for something you cannot yet see. Now, my beloved, I want to speak about the third burden that has rested over your life. This burden concerns your purpose. It is the reason you have often felt stuck, as though something important was missing. It is why you searched for meaning yet struggled to fully grasp it. You sensed there was more, but the path ahead seemed hidden from view. This weight has held you in a season of waiting, standing at the edge of what I designed for you, all wondering when the time would come to step forward. That time has arrived. Yet this burden requires a deeper level of trust than the others. It asks you to believe that your life was created for more than what currently fills your days. It asks you to trust that I shaped a specific purpose for you long before you drew your first breath. It asks you to move forward even when the entire path is not visible. There are places where you have trusted certainty more than you trusted me. There are questions you have wanted answered before taking a step. Yet faith grows strongest in seasons where every detail is not yet revealed. I am leading you into a new season, marked by clarity, purpose, and understanding that will bring meaning to much of what once felt confusing. But to enter that season, you must leave the old one behind. You cannot carry yesterday's fears into the future I am preparing. You must release the fear that has kept you standing still. You must let go of the doubt that has convinced you to wait. You must surrender the need to understand every step before you take the first one. My beloved child, what lies ahead is greater than what you continue to look back toward. Lay down the regret attached to opportunities missed and roads never taken. Release every voice that told you your gifts had little value. Those voices never defined the truth. What has always been true is that I placed a calling within you that is uniquely yours to carry. No one else was formed exactly as you were. No one else carries the same combination of experiences, burdens, strengths, and purpose that I placed within you. And now the season has come to begin walking more fully in that calling. I have seen the dreams you quietly set aside. I have seen the hopes you stopped speaking about because disappointment convinced you they would never come to life. But those desires were never forgotten by me. I planted them within your heart for a reason that has never changed. Even while they seemed dormant, I remained mindful of them. The time has come for those hopes to rise again. Trust me with the things you believed were gone forever. Who you are has never been defined by hardship, failure, confusion, or uncertainty. Your identity was shaped by me long before those seasons arrived. I am the one who formed you with care, and I still hold plans for your life that you have yet to discover. I am guiding you toward opportunities that fit the person I created you to be, and there is no need to chase every open door in fear that you might miss your future. What belongs within my plan for you will arrive in its proper time. You do not have to strive for what I have already prepared. There is a place where you belong, the place where your purpose fits, a place where you will be seen for who you truly are, and you are closer to it than you realize. Listen carefully, my cherished child. You do not need to become someone else to be worthy. You do not need to exhaust yourself proving your value or earning approval that was never required. My acceptance of you is already complete. Your worth was never measured by your accomplishments, nor by the opinions of others. Your value comes from me, and in my eyes it is beyond measure. So let me lift the burden of worry from your shoulders, the fears you carry about tomorrow, the concerns that keep your thoughts restless, the uncertainties you cannot control. I am inviting you to place them in my hands. In their place, I will give you a peace deeper than human understanding can fully explain. The peace I offer is not temporary. It is steady and enduring. It remains even when circumstances continue to shift around you. There are good things ahead that will reveal how closely I know your heart. In time, you will see that what awaits you is more beautiful than you have been able to imagine for yourself. Relationships will begin to unfold with a greater sense of ease. Opportunities will come without the strain and striving you once believed were necessary. The quiet desires you have carried in your heart for so long will start taking shape before your eyes, and you will recognize my hand in ways that surprise you. What once seemed distant will begin moving closer. I know your journey has carried its share of hardship, my precious one. There were seasons when the road felt steep, uncertain, and difficult to navigate, but I tell you now that the path ahead is becoming clearer. The fog that once surrounded your vision is lifting, making room for understanding, confidence, and a deeper sense of peace within you. You will step into circumstances that once felt completely beyond your reach. When that day comes, you will look back and realize that I had been preparing the way long before you ever arrived there. Nothing was accidental. Nothing was overlooked. Even in seasons when you thought little was happening, I was arranging details you could not yet see. Today, I am inviting you to lean on me more fully than you ever have before. Let your worries begin to loosen their grip as your trust in me grows stronger. Hold firmly to my promises, because they remain faithful, steady, and true. They extend beyond this moment and reach into every chapter of the life still ahead of you. Your future is fully known to me, my child. I have already seen every turn, every change, and every detail of the road that remains before you. I stand beyond the places that concern you and beyond the questions you still carry. What feels uncertain to you has never been uncertain to me. There is no need to be troubled by what you cannot yet understand. I am already present in the places you have not reached. I am walking ahead of you, preparing the way, guiding your steps, and watching over what is still to come. You have never traveled a single part of this journey alone. So let hope return to your heart. Allow yourself to believe again in what is still possible. Open your heart to the unexpected goodness beginning to appear on your horizon. My love is greater than your deepest doubts, and my strength is greater than every difficult season you have endured. Declare your trust in me now, my child. Let it rise from the deepest place within your heart. There is something tender I want to speak to you about tonight. It is something I have been preparing your heart to receive for longer than you realize. I am not removing anything from your life because I desire to harm you. I am not moving because I have forgotten you, nor because I have grown tired of carrying the promises I have spoken over your life. I move because I see what you cannot see. I know the places within your heart that remain hidden from everyone else. I know the thoughts you have not yet spoken aloud. I know every road before you, including the ones you would gladly walk and the ones you would never choose for yourself. Because I see the whole picture, I know when a chapter has reached its conclusion. I know when a relationship has fulfilled its purpose. I know when a hand must be released, not because it lacked value, but because it was never intended to remain forever. Do not mistake my movement for rejection or unkindness. If you could see your life through my eyes, you would understand that every person who crossed your path arrived for a reason. Some were shelter during a storm. Some were the storm itself, leading you toward the shelter you truly needed. Some helped heal wounds hidden deep within you, while others revealed wounds that could no longer remain unseen. There were also those who were only meant to walk with you for a season. Their journey and yours were never intended to remain joined forever. You often think of relationships as roads that should merge and continue side by side until the very end. Yet some roads travel together only for a time before separating toward different horizons. I know the ache that follows those partings. I know the questions that arise when someone you love deeply is no longer walking beside you. I know you wonder why I allowed your heart to attach itself to someone if release would eventually become necessary. Understand this, my child. I am not taking something from you in order to wound you. I am allowing release because the purpose I intended through that connection has reached its completion. Love is not always proven by holding on. Sometimes love is revealed through the willingness to release when the season has ended. You expected pruning to feel gentle. You imagined it would feel like the careful trimming of a beautiful branch. Yet sometimes pruning feels like loss, because what is being removed once flourished beautifully. What once brought life can still become something that no longer bears the fruit needed for the season ahead. I am not only loosening certain people from your life, I am also gently freeing the places within you that leaned more heavily on their presence than you realized. There were moments when you sought their voice before seeking mine. There were moments when their approval carried more weight than my truth. I do not tell you this to bring shame. I tell you so you can understand why this season of release has come. When I ask you to let go of what no longer belongs in this chapter, there may be an emptiness that feels almost unbearable. That feeling is natural because your life has grown accustomed to that presence. But I will not leave you sitting in that emptiness. If you allow me, I will fill it with my own nearness. I will meet you in the silence. I will stand exactly where the absence now exists, and there you will discover that I am enough in ways you have never fully imagined. Remember this, my beloved. The ending of a season does not erase its value. The laughter mattered. The comfort mattered. The companionship mattered. The companionship mattered. The good that existed was real, and you are free to treasure those memories without trying to hold on to what has already completed its purpose. Gratitude is never dependent on possession. You can thank me for what someone brought into your life while entrusting them completely to my care. There may be days when you think about them. You may wonder how they are doing, whether they think of you or whether the absence feels strange to them as well. That is natural, my child, but do not remain too long in the world of what might have been. That place is a mirage. It keeps your heart circling yesterday while I have already prepared a clear path forward. You may never know every reason this release had to happen when it did. Yet in time you will see its fruit. One day you will understand that I was not simply removing something from your life. I was creating room for something you could never have received while your hands remained tightly closed around what was ending. And do not mistake this departure for my absence. I am not leaving you, my child. I am as close to you now as I have ever been. When tears come, I will gather them. When you reach toward what is gone, I will be the one waiting for you instead. My arms remain open. My heart remains near. My love does not fade when seasons change. There will be moments when the enemy of your peace whispers that this loss proves you are unworthy of lasting love, that you will always be left behind. Do not receive those lies. Answer them with my truth. This ending is not a judgment against you. You are my beloved child, known and loved long before you arrived in this world. You are not being released from this connection because you lack worth. You are being repositioned for what lies ahead. I am aligning your life with something that fits where I am leading you. Think of this season as preparation rather than punishment. Just as a traveler must leave one place before arriving at another, you must leave this chapter before stepping into the next. You cannot remain in both places at the same time. Even when the road feels lonely for a season, my child, you do not walk it by yourself. I am beside you through every step. I go ahead of you to prepare what is coming, and I remain behind you to guard you from what belongs to yesterday. Even when solitude presses heavily against your heart, you are never truly alone. So listen carefully now, not only with your ears, but with the deeper place within you that recognizes truth when it hears it. There is something inside you that has always known my voice, even when the noise around you tried to drown it out. That knowing remains no matter how loud the world becomes. My voice is not a passing sound that comes and goes. It is a steady presence that has surrounded your life long before you realized you were searching for it. What appears random to you has never been random to me. Every moment of your life rests within my complete understanding. I see every beginning and every ending at once. The knowledge I hold of you is not something distant or forgotten. It is the very foundation supporting you right now, in this moment. Perhaps there were times when you looked at ordinary days and believed nothing meaningful was happening. But I tell you, my child, even the quietest moments carry purpose. Even the stillest hours contain my voice. I rarely announce myself through overwhelming displays. More often I reach you through a gentle stirring within your spirit, a quiet prompting that reason alone cannot fully explain. I speak through whispers more often than storms. I reach through subtle movements more often than dramatic signs, and you are beginning to recognize me there. What once seemed insignificant is becoming familiar. What once felt like coincidence is becoming clearer as my guidance. Know this, my beloved child, your presence here was never an accident. Long before you understood this moment, I knew it. Long before you began searching, I was drawing you closer. I am leading you out of uncertainty and into greater understanding. The questions that once surrounded you are slowly giving way to clarity. Those who belong to me learn to recognize my voice. They follow where I lead, not because they are flawless, but because they know the one who called them. I know each of them completely, and I know you completely as well. There have been moments when you attributed my guidance to circumstances, emotions, or the influence of other people. Yet I am refining your awareness so that you can recognize the difference between my leading and the noise surrounding you. I am teaching you to discern what comes from me and what does not. Your life was never intended to become a cycle of empty repetition. I created you with purpose. I formed you with intention. You are not simply passing through this world. You are here because your life carries meaning, and the relationship we share is becoming more real to you with every passing day. I do not speak from a distant place, my child. I speak right where you are. I speak in the silence you once believed was empty. True quiet is not evidence of my absence. Many times it is the very place I prepare so my voice can be heard more clearly. As you begin to understand this, things that once confused you will start making sense. What once caused hesitation will become confirmation of my nearness. I am not asking you to withdraw from life. I am inviting you to enter it more fully. I am inviting you to let my light reach every place within it. You will no longer spend your days wondering whether you belong. Instead, you will begin moving forward with a quiet confidence that you have always been held by my hand. That certainty will not come from circumstances. It will come from knowing me. My precious child, do not assume that the changes happening within you mean something is wrong. I see every subtle movement of your heart. I see every shift taking place beneath the surface. Nothing is unraveling. What is old is simply making room for what is new. I am working in both the visible and invisible parts of your life. I am not doing so to destroy, but to preserve what endures and remove what no longer belongs. There is a deep transformation taking place within you, one your mind may struggle to fully understand even now, yet your spirit has already begun to sense it. I know there are moments when you feel uncertain. There are times when what once felt stable no longer feels familiar. Sometimes the world around you feels heavier than before. Sometimes even your inner world seems to move in ways you do not recognize. But hear me, my beloved, this is not evidence that your strength is fading. It is evidence that you are being led into deeper understanding. What feels unfamiliar is not necessarily wrong. Sometimes it is simply the beginning of growth. Every part of this journey carries purpose. Even your questions have purpose. Even your uncertainty has purpose. I am weaving every experience into the person I created you to become. Nothing is wasted. Every challenge, every change, and every season holds meaning within my hands. You were never meant to remain exactly where you began. Growth has always been part of my design for you. What is happening is not an outside disturbance forcing its way into your life. It is a quiet work unfolding from within, where old habits, old fears, and old patterns are gradually settling into their proper place. With time, you will begin noticing things you once overlooked. The changes within you will become clearer. There may even be moments when you look back and feel distant from the person you once were, but do not be afraid of that. You are not disappearing, my precious one. You are becoming more fully who I created you to be. I know how hard you have worked to keep everything steady through your own effort. I know the exhaustion you have hidden behind your strength, but I am leading you into a deeper stability now, one that does not depend upon striving. It comes from resting in me. When I allow change to enter your life, it is not to steal your peace. It is to establish a peace that circumstances cannot shake. The serenity I give is different from anything the world offers. It is not fragile. It is not temporary. It is a living presence that remains with you wherever you go. If you are ready to trust what is unfolding, if you are ready to walk forward into what I have prepared for you, then say so now, my beloved. Speak your faith aloud. Let your heart answer me, and let heaven hear it. My beloved child, a significant season is beginning. It is not arriving through sudden disruption, but through a quiet unveiling. What was built on fear, habit, and old ways of thinking is gradually settling into its proper place. And as that happens, something deeper is emerging. There may be moments when you wonder why the person you once were feels so far away. But I promise you, my precious one, you are not fading. You are becoming. Reflect on this truth for a moment. Even where life appears absent, I can bring renewal. Even where things seem broken beyond repair, I can gather the pieces and breathe life into them again. Nothing is beyond my strength. Nothing is beyond my reach. And this is the kind of work taking place within you now. What feels scattered is being brought together. What feels disconnected is being carefully aligned by my hand. I know how long you have tried to hold everything together through your own effort. But I am leading you into a stronger foundation, one that comes through trust rather than striving. I am leading you into a deeper stability, one that is found through resting in your relationship with me. So do not mistake these movements within you for fear, my precious one. See them for what they truly are. Signs of life returning, arising from old patterns, and from places where your spirit has rested for far too long. You are not coming apart. You are being renewed. You are not wandering off course. You are being guided into the very place where you belong. Allow me to complete the work I have begun within you, because I am not only the one who starts a thing, I am the one who faithfully brings it to completion. My child, you have come to the end of a long stretch of road. The horizon you spent so much time looking toward is no longer distant. It is beneath your feet now. The journey behind you was difficult, and there were seasons when you wondered whether you could continue. Yet that chapter has come to its close. Even the air feels different here. You brought your sorrows to me again and again, carrying them like vessels that could barely hold what was inside. And never once did I turn you away. Every prayer, every tear, every burden mattered to me. Now I am asking you to set down the weight of that long road. You have traveled through dry places for a long time, and your strength has been stretched thin. I am giving you what you need for what comes next. Step through this threshold, my child. I am your guide, and I do not fail. The path has already been prepared before you. My presence will be your peace. Leave the old ground behind and move forward, because that chapter has reached its end. Listen with more than your ears now. Let your spirit receive what I am speaking over you. The clarity beginning to rise within you is not a sudden flash that overwhelms. It is more like the steady arrival of morning light. It gently warms the places where doubt once settled, and slowly reveals the path I prepared for you long before you arrived here. You have walked in partial light long enough. Now your vision is becoming clearer. What I am bringing toward you is far greater than anything you continue to hold from the past. So release the sadness connected to what has already passed. Let go of every word that ever diminished your spirit or convinced you that you were less than you truly are. Those words never defined you. What has always remained true is this: you are deeply valued by me, and I have held you with intention from the very beginning. This moment is personal, my cherished one. Many may hear these words, but right now I am speaking directly to your heart. I see the deepest places within you, and I am asking you once again to trust me. Reach for my hand even if worry still lingers nearby. Reach for me even if doubt still whispers at the edges of your thoughts. My strength is greater than your uncertainty. My nearness is greater than your anxiety. Stay with me here for a moment and let this truth settle within you. As you respond to this invitation, the confusion that has weighed on your mind will begin to lift. The burdens you have carried will grow lighter. You will discover a steadiness that remains even while circumstances continue to change around you. Not because every challenge disappears overnight, but because you will know with certainty that I am working on your behalf even now. My desire is to heal your heart completely, not in fragments, but as a whole. The wounds you accepted as permanent are not permanent in my sight. There are places you believed could never be restored, yet I am able to restore them. There are paths you believed were closed forever, yet I am able to open them. And when these things unfold, you will recognize my hand in them. You will know that I was the one who brought them about. My beloved child, you do not have to carry these burdens alone any longer. Bring them to me now. Lay them down before me. Let yourself breathe again. You were never created to live under constant fear or endless worry. You were created for life, growth, and purpose. You were created to shine clearly in a world that needs what I have placed within you. The season of merely surviving is coming to an end. A season of living with greater courage and freedom is beginning. Trust that what I am preparing is good. Trust that what is ahead has been shaped with care. This is my final invitation to you tonight, my child. Do not turn away from it. Do not close your heart to what I am offering. The clarity you have longed for, the peace you have hoped for, and the life you have quietly carried in your heart are no longer distant possibilities. They are drawing near. Remember this. It was never your strength that carried this journey. It has always been mine. When uncertainty comes, remind yourself that this path was never meant to be walked alone. To fully enter this new season, release the anchor that has kept you tied to what feels familiar. A life that never leaves the shore can never discover what waits beyond it. Trust me enough to move forward. The shadows are already giving way to light. My favor is resting upon you like the warmth of a new morning. The remaining fog is lifting. What once felt hidden is becoming clear. The night has passed, my beloved. The day has begun. Walk forward into this new dawn. Its light will remain, and its warmth will not fail you. You are closer than you realize. If your heart receives these words tonight, say amen. If you would like to support this ministry and access additional content, please use the QR code or the support link provided in the description. God bless you.